Welcome back, everybody. On Tuesdays, we catch up on business news with our friends over at the Milwaukee Business Journal.
And so joining us in studio this afternoon is Editor-in-Chief Mark Cass.
You're really drawing that out.
Wow.
We have music.
We have confetti cannons now?
Yeah, we have music for
We
you
should
too.
have something better. I like that.
Well, we had a big day, a historic day in Milwaukee,
is.
worthy of that introduction.
It is.
With the passing of the sales tax, the 2%. Are you hearing from the business community? Did you hear from them right after that passed?
No doubt. I mean, this is a historic
passed?
day. Think about this. This kind of ranks up there, I think, with the votes for the arena. I mean, this is a significant change for the city. You're adding this tax on. And the thing I'm hearing from the business community is that, yes, it's kind of inevitable. You had an option A, which was the sales tax. You had the other option B, which was serious service cuts and, serious, just, not great options. So I think they accept it. They're not happy about it because it does mean higher taxes for them, higher taxes for their customers. And we're kind of an island now. We're becoming an island in terms of higher taxes than Washington County, than Ozaukee County. So again, will you change your restaurant habits as a result of this? I don't think so, but kind of will you change a large purchase, whether it's a refrigerator, whether it's something of those lines? Could you? But obviously not a car. I mean a car. Right. I mean a car is where you live. But will people change? I think there will be some who will think about it, no doubt.
You talk about Milwaukee being an island
Right.
now. But there were other municipal leaders around the state who would have loved the chance to implement their own taxes because the way the state has sent money back to communities for the last 20 years has really just choked off the air supply to cities and towns across the state.
And I think the thing we also miss in this conversation, really haven't heard a lot about it, is what this does. Adding this tax means all the people who live in Washington County who come to Milwaukee for a game or to shop or to eat in a restaurant are now helping us pay this tax. All the people that come up from Illinois for a Cubs game are now helping us pay for this.
And it's still cheaper to come here than go there.
I'm okay with.
Well, come on over.
I'm okay with that. So I think, I think in the long run, everybody will be okay. But it's just this reaction right now. Adding a tax is never something you want to do.
Okay. Harley's in town. I don't know if you've noticed. It's about to get really loud.
Have you seen that stage down there?
The stage is massive.
Right?
It is incredible.
The economic impact of this, I mean, it's every 5 years we get these big reunion rides rolling through town. What does it do when it's
a big deal? It's $95 million.
Wow.
Economic impact.
Wow.
And lots of riders who are coming to Milwaukee from all over the country and from all over the world who maybe never have come here before.
Can we start the sales tax by Thursday?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Somebody should have thought ahead and said, we're just going to try this on a trial for the weekend just to see how it goes. But think about that. All these people are going to come here from all over the world, all over the country, and are going to spend the weekend in Milwaukee. And then hopefully they're going to return here. Right. But I can't think we can overlook how important this weekend is for Harley. Harley's had a rough couple of years. They brought in a new CEO. They're trying new strategies. They're trying the new bikes. They're trying to really kind of grow that company again. To have a weekend all about Harley and all about the love for Harley, I think is really good for the company. And let's see how they use it. How will they grow that market? Because Harley for the future needs to grow its market share.
And what an event to have tens of thousands of people here in Milwaukee.
On
so
a beautiful
it is a
weekend,
really,
on a beautiful weekend, spending money. Well, hopefully next year they'll come back and they'll spend more money when the sales tax is in place. But
All right, well, speaking of next year, we learned today from Summerfest that they're going to stick with this three-weekend format. And I know we don't like change around here.
I've heard that about Milwaukee. That is true.
But does it seem to you that people have adjusted to this three-weekend idea
I
for
think
the
for
betterment?
those of us who were down there on the weekends, it was crowded. It was a lot of crowds. It seemed like a really good reaction this year. I think people are getting used to it now. I think people like the old way, but now kind of here's the new way of the weekends. I think it helps with the entertainment. They have some pretty large groups who are playing at 4 o'clock in the afternoon now, who kind of in the past weren't. So I think that works. I think it has worked, and clearly the attendance showed. I think they got lucky this year with weather. Clearly weather was very helpful to them. And I think there's just this kind of, the thing I heard over and over again, people, is that everyone's happy again. They're happy to be there. They're happy to be having fun on the lakefront.
Well, and I know we talked to some vendors who were saying that the weekend format gave them some time to
give them some time off, kind of
replenish.
I mean, think about that. Having to work 11 straight, 12-hour days on the grounds can really be tough, and to get staffing for that. Now, hopefully for them, they could use their staffing every weekend the same.
Only a couple seconds left.
Yeah.
Let's drive everybody to the story you just posted on the website a few minutes ago. I read it right before it came in the air. A plan to build apartments on top of the old Gimbel's parking structure right behind the avenue.
Yeah, workforce housing. This is something we're going to start to hear more and more about. What this is about is who owns the avenue. He has all these workers who are working in the avenue who aren't able to find housing nearby.
Sure.
So he's saying, I need these workers. I'm going to have housing right next to the place for them. So I think you're going to hear this more and more. As we need more workers who live near work, you need workforce housing, not high-end housing. You need kind of middle of the road housing that all of us can live in.
All right. That story's online.
Online, it's a good one.
Milwaukee Cast, or Mark Cast.
Always.
From the Milwaukee Business Journal. Thank you, as always, for joining us for more of all the top business stories, including reading that one we just talked about those workforce apartments downtown. It's bizjournals.com/Milwaukee.
It's my nickname for him, Niz. I mean, I can't help it. It just comes out.
All right.